Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and the place to be, it's Deb C. Boop, boop, that's me. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, and happy Wednesday. Oh, is it Wednesday? Yes, happy Wednesday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week and had a great day today. Listen, I'm going to go get this done next week on my vacation. I'm also going to try and find out what I can do to maybe get my hair a little more like a little more poofy, a little more poofed, because I still like it, because I still love my hair in this cut and with it straight, but I want to see if I can find some way to get it like puffed a little bit. Okay, so last night I watched The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I rewatched it today. I made my notes. Let's talk about it. Okay, so we start off with Bronwyn picking up Todd at the airport dressed as a sloth. I'm going to tell you, I think this is the funnest. Like, I think this is just one of the funniest things that she does. I also I myself would like to get an inflatable and walk around in it. I don't know if I would walk around outside, but at least make a video in it. Here's the thing. I sometimes feel like maybe Bronwyn is doing it because maybe Todd isn't that big a fan of it, so she just does it to get on his nerves. Just like whenever they get in the car and they're talking about like how did your week go? And she says about how, remember you told me not to get involved in the airplane ride? Well, I got involved. I think she brings that up to him because part of me thinks that she brings it up to him because he's not a fan of hearing about her friends. So the ladies on the show. So I kind of hope, I would hope that she maybe brings it up just to like dig at him a little bit. But she mentions that she is going to become a citizen. She's taking her citizenship test, and she's thinking that maybe she'll have a Boston spill the tea party, just to do like a reset in the group. Listen, I think it's a cool idea. However, this happened last season, at the end of the season finale. Remember when Heather was like, hey, everybody, give us your phone. You're going to share the worst thing. You're going to give your phone to someone. They're going to read the worst thing that you said about them. And then it's going to be water under the bridge, and you burn the bridge, and it's done. And you squash it, like squash the beef, and it's going to be done. That went over okay for some people, but not for everybody. So I don't know how this is going to work out. Okay. So Whitney and Justin are talking, and Whitney's really upset because she saw a large transfer of money going from their bank account to the vendors, and Justin was like, I had to do that to pay these vendors. So what happened was they merged Wild Rose Beauty with another entity, and the whole time, like, Whitney was like, I don't know, this, I don't think we should be doing this. It didn't feel right to her. And Whitney was getting ready to, like, I don't know if she was going to be talking, like, her whole thing with Wild Rose Beauty was, her dream was for it to be in like Ulta or Sephora or Target, like in a big box store. And she was actually talking either to Sephora or Target. I think maybe it was one of the two. I think it was Sephora that she was talking to, and as they were like pushing her to instead go this MLM route. And there was rumors that Whitney was getting into an MLM. Listen, MLMs, no, they never work. They never work. It's a good way to lose your money. So she was like, against my better judgment, I said, yeah, let's do it, because it'll be a way for me and you, Justin, to work together. And then it just didn't work. So the one thing that she actually had, that she built herself with her own, on her own, like she has their family, she has their kids, but this was something that was just her, that she built, that she was proud of. And now it's just like ruined. Like she's now fighting to get her name off of the company and to take back Wild Rose Beauty just for herself. But listen, I don't know why he says and she's really upset because, like I said, the company was something that she built all on her own, and she's really resentful now of Justin. And the company and the marriage were so tied, the business and the marriage were so like tied together, that now it's tough for her to look at her marriage and to look at Justin the same way that she did before. And Justin was like, I thought that, he says, I never doubted that your business couldn't be successful. Well, if that's the case, then why would you go against what Whitney was trying to do and have her pair up with another entity and introduce MLM? That doesn't make any sense. If you fully believed in it, then you would just keep on going the way that Whitney was going. And also, listen, I don't know why, but if Whitney was in discussions with Sephora, why would you all of a sudden cancel those and go with this MLM? I mean, I don't know if they were waiving money, or if, because, Justin was saying it was a good thing, you put more weight in what he was saying. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if their marriage doesn't survive this. But I mean, ultimately, Whitney should have listened to what her gut was saying. I don't know why, like, she wanted to go in Sephora, so I don't know why you would just cut ties with that when that's what you wanted. Always trust your gut. Always trust your gut. Okay, now there's three things I'm going to tell you. And two of them are going to be a surprise, and one of them not so much. Okay. And this was about Bronwyn and Muzzy. Okay. Bronwyn and Muzzy's relationship has gotten better. Also, it got so much better that Muzzy went to a sex shop with Bronwyn to buy pride flags. And Muzzy does not see eye to eye politically with Bronwyn. Which one of those is not a surprise? Correct. Listen, when Bronwyn was like, I know that you don't see eye to eye with me politically. Listen, with them eyebrows and that judginess, yeah. Bronwyn, listen, God bless Bronwyn. Here's another reason why I love Bronwyn. Well, two reasons why I love Bronwyn. Number one, she stands up proudly. Like, she doesn't just say, oh, I'm an ally. She actually gets out there and she does the work to prove that she is an ally to the LGBTQIA plus community. And I love that, because there was the law that was passed that in Utah that you cannot fly the pride flag. So she was like, anybody who wants one, I will send one to you for free. I love that. And also because she is very sensitive, like I am. Like she cry. I can tell that she might cry easily based on this episode, previous episodes, and also some cameos that I've seen where she was talking to someone who was getting a cameo, and this woman is a social worker, and she was speaking about, you know, how necessary social workers are and what amazing work they do. And she started crying a little bit. That's what I do. Like literally, me even just thinking about it is going to make me cry. But she was just, that's it. Thank you for attending Reasons Why Deb C loves Bronwyn. Okay. But no, they were talking, and Muzzy actually, oh no, here's something I will agree with Muzzy on. They were talking about people caring about what people think of you. And Muzzy was like, you know, when you get my age, you just don't care anymore. I'm not going to agree with a lot that she says, but she's right. Once you get past, once I got past the age of 50, I didn't give a shit what anybody cares. Obviously, I'm on the internet with two pimple patches. I gotta cover Jack and I gotta cover Shake and Bake somehow. I know I could put on cover up. I could put on makeup, or I could just slap on to cover Jack and Diane, Shake and Bake, Ren and Stimpy. I don't know. Okay, so but no. Anyways, one of the nicest. No. Like the best part of this episode was seeing Muzzy actually give props to Bronwyn, because she told her, she said that she's proud of her. She said, I am proud of you. You're a good mother, you know, things that you saw, things that like Muzzy was raised Bronwyn the way her parents raised her. And Bronwyn didn't like how she was raised. So she's raising Gwen in a completely different way. And, you know, Muzzy, her mother, is now seeing that that she's done good, because Gwen is just a fantastic daughter, a fantastic person who, you know, who is going to go out there in the world and just be able to handle life. So yeah, and she was so happy that she was just finally had gotten that validation from her mother. And I'm not going to cry. I'm not, because I already cried again when I was watching it, but I was so hopefully this is going to stop Bronwyn from like wanting everybody in the group to like her. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully now she won't seek that out so much. Okay, so for Bronwyn's Spill the Tea Party, listen, you leave it to Lisa Barlow. If there is a theme for party, she is going to be not dressed for it, and she's going to be so off point. She could have dressed up somewhat. I mean, listen, even if you don't want to wear like a big hoop skirt or something, I'm sorry. Heather went in her Hamilton getup. She had the Hermes, you know, the Hermes ribbon on her ponytail, and she looked fantastic. I'm sorry. Her and Meredith and Lisa show up. I don't know what they're going for, but everybody else looked fabulous. I love that Mary walks in and she has her own wig in her purse. I love that. Also, I need Bronwyn to decorate for if I ever have a theme party, because who got that? Did she get all that together? Because that was something. I mean, that was pretty impressive. So basically, they all sat down. You label your box with the name of the person that you've spilled tea about recently. You discuss it, and then you throw the box in the harbor. Once again, I don't know how well this is going to turn out, because it didn't turn out. A different iteration of it didn't work out the year before for some people. Okay. So Angie's first. Angie wrote Lisa on a box, and she's like, I spilled tea with someone about your horse, because Lisa claimed she didn't announce it, but she did. Previously at some function, she was like, I bought a horse. So she's like, I was talking to someone who knows this. I didn't think you bought a horse. We were talking about the horse, and she was saying you're renting the horse. So she's like, no, I'm not renting it. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to be buying another horse. She's like, what are you going to do with 2 horses? Where are you going to put? That's nobody's business. So, okay, the horse. Brittany wasn't talking. Brittany wasn't spilling tea about anybody, but you know Brittany, if there's a chance for Brittany to have the spotlight, Brittany got to have the spotlight, you know? And she loves the spotlight, and she loves talking about Jared Joel. So she was like, I didn't spill the tea, but I'm just wondering who was saying, I thought when she said this guy's name, I thought she said Joe Wow. So I'm just going to say like his name is Joe, Joe, and then Wow, WOW, Joe Wow. So she's like, I don't know who told Jared that, who gossiped and told Jared that I was flirting with Joe Wow. Well, you were, because you were on a 30-day break. So why does he care? Because you were on a 30-day break, right? You were on a 30-day break, supposedly. And Whitney's like, listen, I did. I told Justin, and he told Jared, and everybody's like, throw it in the harbor. I don't want to hear about Jared anymore, which, by the way, I did not watch What Happens Live, but Brittany was on there, and I believe what she had said was that he is the love of her life. He is the love of her life. Remember last week how he treated her? That's the love of her life. So listen, we know if it came down to who are you going to pick? Are you going to pick your daughter, or are you going to pick this man? We know. Okay. Okay. Next was Heather. Heather wrote down Bronwyn's name. She's like, listen, I have to tell you, I spilled the tea, and I was talking about Todd cheating and farting. I don't know why I'm fascinated. And I know it's stupid and it's not funny. Bronwyn was like, it's not funny. She didn't find any humor in it. So she was like, just throw that in the harbor. So it's in the harbor. I don't know if they're over it, but it's in the harbor. So Bronwyn went next, and she was like, listen, I spilled the tea. After our meeting, Whitney, I went to Meredith to warn her so she knew what was coming. And I apologize. And I'm just going to I'm throwing this in the harbor. Bronwyn was planning on moving on real quick, but Whitney wasn't. Whitney was like, well, why didn't you stop me then? If you didn't like what I was saying, why didn't you stop me? And instead of stopping me, you just were laughing about it. And then you went out and you just told her everything that I had said. And I told you this in confidence. And Bronwyn was just like, well, maybe if you don't want this stuff shared, maybe you shouldn't have talked about it. And I love you, Bronwyn, but I don't know. I think you were wrong in this. Like, I love Bronwyn. You all know I do, but I think she was wrong in this, you know? Like, if you don't want someone not to trust you, then don't tell people. Don't tell other people don't spill their secrets. Like, when somebody comes to you with something, don't then go and tell somebody else about it. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, Bronwyn was like, well, if you didn't want this told, maybe you shouldn't be talking about it. Maybe you shouldn't have said it. This is between you and Meredith. I'm not in any of this. Goodbye. So then that brought in Meredith. That was the perfect opening for Meredith. Meredith and Whitney go at it. They're talking again about like what happened on the plane. And Meredith's like, you're lying. You're just lying. And so Whitney then counters by calling Meredith an alcoholic and a pill popper, which, listen, as a fan of reality TV, it does make for good TV. However, I thought it was cringe. As a person, I thought it was cringe because her father had those issues, has those issues, whatever, lived through that. So I would think that you wouldn't necessarily be yelling and screaming pill popper and alcoholic, you know, when your father went through that. Also, when Whitney says later, I'm bringing this up because I care about you. I don't know if when you're care about somebody and their potential, like them potentially being an addict or being, you know, an alcoholic, that you shame them and start yelling alcoholic or pill popper, is all I'm saying. So listen, this next part made no sense to me. So Whitney makes those accusations. And then listen, I'm all for a gift bag. I'm all for a swag. However, so Meredith hands out the gift bags. Everybody's like, oh, lovely. It was a drug test kit. And I peep also on the top, some of the Meredith Marks caviar. Like, here you go. Here is some caviar. By the way, here's a drug test. I don't know why. I was a little bit of a projection, by Meredith. But if you are accused of having taken maybe pills and or drink alcohol, and then screaming and yelling at someone on a plane, why would you then give a drug test to everybody else? Like, why? Like, I don't understand. Why would they have to take a drug test? Why wouldn't you take one? Why would they take one? That doesn't make any sense. That made absolutely no sense to me. That made no sense at all. I mean, if somebody can explain it, go ahead. I mean, she's trying to deflect it back on others, or I don't know. I'm going to tell you, like, once again, and Whitney was like, you yelled at me on the plane. And she says, I didn't. Well, then Mary, in a flashback, was like, you don't remember that, Meredith? Yeah, you were yelling at Whitney, show me the TikTok. I'm, to be completely honest with you, I 100% believe that Meredith took a sleeping pill, had a couple drinks maybe right after, and then like that one creator on TikTok had said, when you do that, then you're in what's known as like an ambient coma, and you do shit and you don't even remember it. Like, if I remember correctly, the woman that said that this occurs, she went out like to a restaurant, ate, and didn't even know that she did all this stuff because she was in like this ambient coma. I guarantee, listen, I don't want to say I guarantee that's what happened. If that comes out that that's what happened, I would not be surprised. So Heather gets in it a little bit. And Heather says, Meredith, you told me on the plane that if I were to remain friends with Brittany, then you couldn't be friends with me. And remember last week, Lisa was like, and Meredith was like, I did not say that. So last week, Lisa had agreed that, yes, you did say that to Meredith. Yes, you did say what Heather is saying you said. And now Lisa's like backtracking and says she didn't say that. She didn't say that. And I wouldn't even know because I wasn't there. What do you mean you weren't there? It was the plane. You were sitting right next to her. You were sitting right next to Meredith. I don't know. So this is just a whole bunch of like just gaslighting. And now Meredith is including, I guess, Heather in on being a liar. And that upset Heather because Heather had been gaslit for so long by people in like the Mormon church, gaslighting her that she really doesn't want it to happen from her friends. Like she hated it when it happened in the church, and she really hates it whenever it happens when her friends do it. So listen, I'm going to say this. I think they need to drop it. I think they need to drop it until the finale, which from what I understand, the finale is taping this week. I think they need to drop it because listen, the only thing that's going to keep happening is Meredith and Lisa are just going to keep gaslighting everybody. And I'm tired of that. I think this has run its course. Okay. So that's done. Bronwyn, listen, if you need a good fashion reveal, Bronwyn is your girl because I knew under that robe, she had to have something. So when she came out with that full gown, and then she had like the Declaration of Independence on it. Oh, fabulous. She's always fabulous with the fashion. And then they added friendship amendments. Those aren't going to take, girl. Those aren't going to stick. So next week they're going to Greece. And that is, I don't want to say sponsored, but who's getting that all together. That's Angie K. So yeah, next week is Greece. It looks like it's going to be beautiful, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of screaming. So, okay. Listen, in the comments, let me know what you thought. Also, I just have to say this. I know that I said that I'm going to be covering the new Vanderpump Rules. I can't. Honestly, I tried to watch it last night. I don't like any of those people at all. Like, not even a little bit. Not even a bit. Like, there's the one guy. Well, no. What's her name? Demi. She's not bad. But, and maybe Natalie. But I don't. The one guy who thinks he's like the greatest thing since sliced bread, and he's a server, and he doesn't do any work. He just drinks. No, I tried. I really did. I tried, but I couldn't finish it. I can't watch them. Same thing with like Next Gen New York. I don't like them. So I'm just not. So yeah, don't count on me doing any new VPR videos. I gave it a shot. I can't. I just can't do it. Okay. So listen, in the comments, let me know if you watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Tomorrow night is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So I'm going to watch it, and then I will make a video on Friday. So you will not get a video from me tomorrow, probably not. But listen, if nobody told you yet today, you are loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world. So it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Treat each other the way that you would want to be treated. And spread kindness because it is free and it is very much needed. Also, please be aware of your surroundings. Be smart and safe. Let's hydrate with some water. Wham ham. And if you're in a dangerous situation, please know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and positive energy your way so you make it through. I love you guys. I will not see you tomorrow, but I will see you on Friday. And Friday is the start of my vacanza. It's my December winter vacanza. Okay. I will see you guys Friday. Bye, guys. Bye.